Too often we get caught up looking in the past, looking in the future, missing out on this present moment. And I'm speaking to myself really in this video, but hopefully a few of you guys that are watching can relate and take something from this video. So um, I find myself often looking at the past and looking at my past mistakes and looking at the things that I could have done better, but dwelling on those things. I think it's important to actually notice those things and take note of them, right? But not to dwell in those mistakes or those negative feelings or thoughts about yourself. So that's something I've just noticed really recently within myself, maybe within the past week. I've noticed I consistently do that. I consistently dwell in my own mistakes, and it's a downward spiral, guys. If you continuously think about what you did wrong, you feel bad about what you did, and then you feel bad about feeling bad about what you did, and you might have a moment of being present like myself, and then I'll have a moment of being present and I feel great and I'm locked in, and then I notice, oh, I could have done a little better, and then I might dwell in what could I have done better, and I consistently fall into that trap. So if you're like me, if you're similar to me in that way, I watched a video recently with Grant Cardone in one of his seminars. It's an amazing lesson I took from the video, which was every time you feel down or you feel bad or you don't feel motivated, write down your goals, right? And someone like me, like, I love writing and journaling and writing down my goals and taking steps to become better, but that's not something I've been taking seriously, which is writing down my goals and writing down the same goals every day, consistently writing down my goals, like consistently. And personally, I've had a problem actually on how to create goals. And I think this is something I can go over later in a video when I finally put more thought into that, about how to create goals for the long term and to create successful goals. When it comes to fitness, I know what I'm doing and I know how to create a goal for the long term. But when it comes to life, right, it's like, what kind of goals are you striving for? What is your why, right? Like, these things are so important when you're creating goals, because we get caught up in okay, I want a nice car, I want a nice house, I want a beautiful wife, I want $1 million, right? But at the same time, it's, if those goals, okay, those 5 goals, let's say those 4 things I just named, those might never change throughout your life, but those aren't specific. What car, what house, what wife, right? Like, being real specific and intentional with your goals, that's really where I'm looking to get to. And I think the main reason people don't set goals out loud or write them down for themselves is fear. And I think that comes back to everything in life. Fear is what's holding all of us back. Anybody who's not getting what they want in life, it's fear that's holding you back. So even just writing down your goals, say you want to go from $10,000 a month, or let's even say you want to go from $1,000 a month you're making to $10,000 a month. The reason you're probably scared to write that down is because you're scared of what happens if I don't hit that goal, or is that goal even, am I actually even going to be able to hit that? Is that realistic? So we shy away from goals and writing down goals and like coming up with unattainable goals, right, or impossible goals, big goals, 10x goals. And that's something I've learned from Grant Cardone and the book I read from him and the seminars I'm doing. So at this point right now, I'm just documenting the journey. As I continue on through my journey, I was speaking with someone today, letting them know, hey, I think I planted a lot of the seeds in my life that I think will bear fruit and multiply and bring my desires of my life, right? Now I think I'm in the season of actually picking the weeds and stopping the weeds from destroying the beautiful plant that's flourishing in the process of flourishing, right? So, for example, a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, but not if a bird eats the caterpillar first, right? Or a spider eats the caterpillar first while it's in the cocoon. You dig? So it's there's different seasons in life, and there's different things that we need to accomplish in those seasons. Planting the seeds, that's the reading the books, and feeding your mindset and changing your paradigm and changing your perspective and being open-minded. But I think that the season after that, you need to really pluck the weeds. I don't believe in like pesticides. Like, that's not my ideal thing, right? I would want to do the natural way, so I'm in the trenches with it, on my hands and knees, plucking the weeds out and protecting the plant of the seeds that I've planted. So and then the next season, maybe I need to water my seeds more. I need to water my plants more, and that might be a whole nother season after whatever I got going on now. But I know in the end, those seeds will bear fruit. Those seeds will bear fruit. There's something Kai Green would always say, which is all of this hard work has to pay off, right? It's impossible that it doesn't. The universal laws of life, the way they work is, it's the law of increasing returns, right? So it's like, if you plant one apple seed, you get an apple tree that has a possibility of hundreds or thousands of apples, right, throughout its lifetime, which each apple has multiple seeds. So it's an exponential growth, or exponential return on investment, right? You Jim Rohn says, you don't get what you sow, you don't reap what you sow, you reap much more than you sow. So if you sow the negativity, you'll reap much more negativity from your life. If you sow positivity, you'll reap much more positivity from your life, right? So I just came out here to really, like I said, document this journey, guys, because right now I feel like I'm at a place where I just feel like a breakthrough is coming, and I would love for the entire process to be documented authentically and transparently for you guys, because I've felt stuck for so long, even though I've continuously fed my mindset. And like I said, planting seeds, that's cool and everything, but imagine you just keep planting seeds, and then you plant 1,000 seeds, and then you look back at your garden, and your garden's still flat, right? That's kind of how I've been feeling. But I'm not, now I look back and it's not flat. I just started seeing a lot of weeds because I haven't tended to those seeds in so long, right? So now that's really the phase of life I'm in. And I think as I go through this life, or as I go through this phase of my life, God is really going to challenge me and test me. And the quote that I wrote this on my mirror the other day, probably 2 weeks ago at this point now, and I read it every day, is, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city with no borders or no walls and broken down. So of all things I'm saying, guys, protect your spirit, protect your energy, stay locked in, find the creator, find your purpose, right? And people talk about such profound breakthroughs with their spirituality and their life. It's like, to not even test the waters, or to not even get intrigued by what could possibly be out there that could possibly change your life. That's that would be foolish to not test it out at least, so that you don't lose anything. You won't lose anything by trying to find God. So here, now, right now is all that matters. Lock in. We getting better. I mean, I need to be doing more push-ups, guys, but like I said, I've been in a phase of my life where I'm not, I'm not hitting on all cylinders, even though I really wish I could be. And I'll tell you guys honestly, because that's life, I'm not hitting on all cylinders. But watch, once I'm hitting on all cylinders again, I'm going to tell you guys that I'm hitting on all cylinders, and I'll tell you exactly how I got out of the rut I was in to get back there, right? And you see it here: God, reading, meditation, breathing. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches, but I really want to say thank you to everybody who loves on me, man, and shows me support, because those people, they're feeding into me. They're planting seeds in me. And like, I love planting seeds in other people and doing this for social media or YouTube or really being able to leave an impact for my future generations, my future family, my future bloodline. But the people that are planting seeds into me, they don't, you know, they don't go unnoticed by myself, right? And you know, sometimes those people don't get recognition, and I think everybody deserves that little hint of recognition that, hey, you are planting seeds and you're impacting people's lives on such a tremendous scale. Like, imagine that one person who said that one thing to me that I repeated to one other person, and then that person went on to go change the world, right? And it's like, was it me? Was it the other person that implanted into me? Was it the person that implanted into them? You know, it's everybody has an impact. Everybody has a purpose here. So let's lock in, man. Let's get better. Presence. Right here, right now. Forget the past. Forget the future. Let's lock in. Every time you get depressed, write down your goals. Every time you feel sad, write down your goals. Every time you feel happy, write down your goals. Become obsessed with them. So that's what I'm on now. I'm gonna actually go get a little notebook. I'm gonna go to the store right now, get a little notebook, like a real small notebook, because I want it on me all the time. In the morning, that's the first thing I do when I wake up before I even hit the bathroom. I'm writing my goals. Before I go to bed, I have to write my goals. I want it on my mind so much that it's impossible for me to not be thinking about it. It's impossible for me to get depressed. It's impossible for me to get anxiety. It's impossible for me to be overwhelmed in the past or the future, because I'm so locked in on my goals. I'm so locked in on writing down my goals, refocusing. It's so profound, that idea of focus, man. It's focus, lock in. We're here. If you're not focused, focus. It's now. It's here. It's not, you weren't focused a second ago. That's fine. We're here now. Write down your goals. Let's knock out push-ups. Let's go. Let's get better, man. Everyone's on this journey together, man. Things only get better when you get better. That's how I'm gonna leave it, because I'm gonna knock out some push-ups. I'm gonna go get my notebook. So love, man.